Good morning. Let's talk about how we can make the best out of our income. Are you unemployed? Do you like your job? Do you like your coworkers? Well, are you happy with your salary? Do you think you can make more? What about your finances? How do you budget? Let's talk about how we can be grateful and make the most out of our income. If you need to increase your salary so that you can provide for your family, it's not what this video is about. If you are working and what you are making, you can live within that. That's what we want to talk about. First, you need to cut down on your expenses. If you think you are bringing enough home, you should be able to live within that, but it's hard for you to make your ends meet. You need to reflect on your life, on your finances, and take some actions. First, cut down on your expenses so that you can make the most out of your income. The way we did that, my husband and I, when we start paying off our credit card debts, car loan and student loan, and I work on our budget, I asked him if we could live within one income. And multiple times he said no, and I asked him to list our expenses and tell me how much we spend in average a month, to list all the bills that he pays, our utilities and all that. And then we sat down and we discussed that, and we noticed that by trying to pay off our credit card debts, car loan, student loan, and invest at the same time in the stock market, it was a little bit hard for us to just do all of that at the same time, because we like to pay ourselves first. So we had that mentality that, but by doing all of that, it just, we couldn't pay off our debt quickly. So I asked him, well, if we stop investing in our brokerage accounts, and if we trim those expenses down, should we be able to live within one income? And finally, we narrowed down our expenses to the point that we are comfortable to live within one income. So we live first on my income, which was the highest one, and we include the mortgage payment in it as well, while we use my husband's income to pay his credit card debts, car loan, and then student loan. And when we were done with that, we just continued the same principle. We moved to his income to live on his income, and we use my income to pay our mortgage every month. And then sometimes we just withhold $500 to invest in our businesses. So you need to cut down on your expenses so that you have some money left to put to work. You need to stop trading your time for money. When you trade your time, which is a limited resource, the money you'll gain from that will be limited as well. So we need to think beyond that. But before, you have to trim your expenses so that you can have some money left, so that you can put to work. Even when you are sleeping, your money will be generating more money for you. And that's our goal. I want to go into real estate. For that reason, we are trying to decrease our expenses as much as possible so that we have enough left in our income to pay off our debts and then start buying properties. I'm not talking about being creative and buy properties with 0% down. It's not my plan at this moment. I want to buy a property and from the start having more than 20% equity in it. So that's my goal at the moment. And for that reason, we decreased our expenses. And too recently, because my husband has $15,000 credit card to pay, we lower our expenses even more to be able to feed that payment within his income without taking anything away from our mortgage payments. So we just feed that within his income, and we just work on our this month budget. We have a fixed budget, and against that we record our expenses, our actuals every month to see how we are doing. And this month, after he put in all his payments, his bill payments, he told me how much our expenses were this month, and we spent $892. That does not include his credit card payment. It does not include our mortgage, but just our expenses, like our basic living expenses, is $892. But we budget $1,000 CC for that. So that's how we decrease our expenses. And when we include his minimum payment toward the credit cards and the minimum of our mortgage, our budget is $2,200, but we spend $2,000, a little bit over $2,000 this month toward those expenses. And everything that was left from our income went toward either the credit card payment, the extra toward the credit card payment, and mine went toward additional principal of the mortgage. So we are trying to pay down our debt so that we can have a lot of money left to invest our real estate, because we want to stop trading our time for money. So you have to put your money to work, but it's not easy to do if you have debts. Let me charge my camera here. So you cannot put your money to work when you have debts that you are paying a lot in interest. You could be saving, if you have credit card debt and you are paying more than 14% in interest rates, well, when you pay them off, that's 14% investment for you, because you save those interests. So put your money to work by saving excess from your income, and come up with ideas how you can invest that, so that you can you can start generating more money out of that. Don't be entitled to your job or to your salary. Unless it's your dad's company, even your dad can fire you. Unless it's your company. As long as you are working for somebody, there is a chance that you can be fired. Just be grateful for your job, your income, and make the best out of it. If you like your coworkers, you like what you are doing, go finding another job, a higher salary, a higher pay. You don't know if they will come with a higher stress, a higher level of stress, or if you will get along with your new coworkers. So you might want to think about that. If the job you just cannot make it where you are, that's totally different. But if it's just not the job the problem, is the way you are handling your spending, your finances is the issue. You might want to address that, and don't be entitled to your salary. In my situation, I have a bachelor degree and 2 masters. I feel like I can make more, I'm worth more than what I'm making at work. But I don't feel entitled to my salary. I appreciate my salary. I appreciate every penny that I earn, and I appreciate every raise that I get at work. I like my job. I like my coworkers. At, at, at one time, I applied for jobs around here. I even went to few interviews, and I was determined, to leave my work if I find a better pay. But then after reflecting on it for a while, I list down what I like about my job, what I like about my previous jobs, my skills, and I found out that, well, I might find a higher paid job, but it could come with a higher level of stress, and I don't know if I'll get along with all my coworkers. So it's just better I stay where I am and just make the best out of it. Instead of trying to go look for another job, it's better for me to go into a business, like to own my own business. So that's my decision, and I wanted to make the most out of my salary by cutting down on my expenses so that I have enough to launch my own business. And when you have your own business, you can have any title you want, you know. And if your job does not give you the option, the opportunity to to get promoted, to move up, in case you are trying to climb the corporate ladder, well, in your business you can have all the titles you want, all the titles you want. So that's my goal, to start my own business. So, and in our case, we stopped when we wanted to cut down on our expenses. We decided not to give gifts to each other, my husband and I. So we stopped buying those things. It's just not necessary. And I don't give gifts to family members either. They are adults and they don't need those things. So I stopped spending my money on those things that are not necessary. I just have a feeling like holidays these days is just all about buying. So I don't buy Christmas gifts, and I don't even bother shopping during Black Friday. I I just feel like I can find better deal throughout the year. So I have purchased things during Black Friday. I just don't go. My husband work a lot of time during Black Friday. So if there is a computer, a tablet, uh, a flash drive on sale, a special one, he might purchase it. But this year I didn't have any budget for any of those things. So when he brought it up that there was a USB, uh, a flash drive for $7, yeah, well, I didn't even say anything. So I didn't even look through the Black Friday ad that Walmart has. So that's that. I just don't shop on Black Friday, and I don't buy toy gifts to the kids for Christmas or birthday. I stopped doing that. So what we give them is money. I'll give them money on Christmas for Christmas gifts and for birthday, and then I'll ask them to put in their piggy bank. After a while, we'll send it to their bank account because they have bank account, and then we will move it from there to the investment account. I open them a brokerage account. I think it's called a UGTMA. Instead of 529, I opened 529 for some of them, but then I stopped investing after a while because I have a better plan for that. I just don't think that's what I wanted to do. I don't believe in it, and I might talk about that another time. Or if you're interested, you can ask me about it. I opened them a brokerage account, and they invest in it. And I know after a while they might start paying tax, which is totally fine. I just have a better plan. I think they can make a better use of their money than me investing it toward the 529. So, and I'm teaching them at the same time to be financially responsible. But this year, Walmart has a great clearance during earlier this year in toy section, and I purchased a lot of toys. Last time that I purchased a lot of toys was more than 10 years ago, or around 10 years, I think about 10 years ago, when I was pregnant with my first child. So I bought a lot of toys around that time, and all three use, and still they are still using those toys. So I started decluttering the toys, I got rid of a lot of toys. And when Walmart had clearance earlier this year, I spent more, if not more, than $400 on toys and some games, because I felt like they have a lot of baby toys and they are all a little bit grown. They grew over that, so I bought age appropriate, especially at my oldest one's age. I bought toys appropriate for her age, and I include some boys' toys in it as well. And I spent more than $400 on those clearance toys that could have cost me well over $1,000. So I can do, I can make those purchases, but purchasing toys for gifts as a gift for Christmas and birthday, I stopped doing that. And I didn't hesitate to spend that much money on toys to update it for them this year, and it will be a while before I'll spend that much money again on toys for them. So that's how I do it. So you have to see what will work for you. Another things that we did too recently to cut down on our expenses so that my husband can pay more toward his credit card is I changed my phone. I like dumb phone, just the old type phone. I don't really like to call it dumb phone. I just like it. I don't like some shape, but I like the old-fashioned phone. I might use smartphone if there is a need for it, but at this point, I don't find a need. We used to be with Verizon, and it was costing us more than $100 for three people being on the plan. And recently, I asked my husband to find me a small carrier, and we came up with Tello. So I got this phone from them. Is a refurbished one, but the phone is not the point. In fact, my husband find the same brand online for a better price, a brand new one, and this is a refurbished one, but it has some issues. But Tello use spring lines and towers, and my plan is $8.57, including tax a month for 300 minutes and free texting, no data. And my husband has something similar with one data for $8 as well. So we cut down our cell phone bill from 110 or 105 to less than $20 a month. So that free quite a bit from our income. And he cut down on cable. Cable we pay 180, including internet. So he kept the internet, which is $70, and car cable, and is thinking about having Hulu for $8. So 78 will be our internet and Hulu versus $180 that we used to pay for cable and internet. So that's how we decrease our expenses so that we can free more income to pay our debts and start investing. So you have to see what will work for you. You need to create passive income, but you cannot do that if you are not responsible with the money you are bringing in. I believe in living within your income or living well below your income. If you doing that does not stop you from being creative and come with ideas to make more money, it's not the point. It's being responsible with your money so that you can put more to work. So that's the point. I will urge you at the end of 2019 to reflect on your work life, your finances, and make choices, new choices, make decisions or take actions that will help you going forward, improve your finances, pay off your debt. Come up with a plan to pay off your debt so that you have enough income to start putting to work. Let's stop trading our time for money, or along with that, let's start investing, creating more passive income so that we can generate more. Thank you for watching. I'm Nina, I'm Marie Ninette. Libreman. My full name is Afiavi Ojune Marininette Libreman, and I just like to go by Nina. Thank you for watching.